So here's the end of my gusset, and I didn't show cutting this. It's probably not worth showing. But what I've done, this is going to be on the inside, stitched. You'll see how this all fits together. But what I've done is I've cut out where this is going to fold over the top of the bag before the main flap comes down. So I've grooved this a little bit with a grooving tool so that it can fold a little bit easier and put less stress on the outside of the leather. I've cut this out, and I've used a punch to put little relief cuts here so that the leather will be less likely to tear in that corner, because there'll be a little bit of stress there. Let's see if I can get this in the... So right there I've cut a little hole with a punch. Here's where we go through an awful lot of dye. I've got to dye all these pieces. I want to dye all of these pieces before I start assembling the bag, because I don't want to get it on the stitching. I really want the white stitching to provide a sharp contrast, so I'm going to dye everything before I start assembling it. And we've got a lot of surface area here. It's important that you go over it in a circular, overlapping manner to keep from getting streaks, especially when you're dyeing such a big area. Okay, so all of our pieces are dyed now. Next thing we want to do is glue these tabs together so that they can be glued, stitched, and riveted to the bag once we've got the trimming and slicking done. You got one shot at getting these lined up right. Just one. If you get them up lined up wrong, once they're stuck, you're done. And there's our finished, I don't know what you would call it, strap tag. Whatever, it's done. Now we can move on with starting to stitch this whole thing together. Because of the curves and the stitching on the strap tag, I used a stitching wheel to lay out the stitches. But for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut stitches in the gusset, a straight line of stitches, and then use those as guides to all the stitches in the actual front and back of the bag. Okay, so I'm still a long way from done, but hopefully you can see a little bit better how this is going to go together. I'm assembling the bag inside out. I've got the seams lined up for the gusset, the back, and the front, and I'm sewing those seams. And then once I'm done, I will turn the bag inside out and the seams will be hidden on the inside. So still quite a way to go here, but I've got a good start and probably enough there for you to see how it's going to go together.